The minus sign indicates that it is a restoring force. It is directed to restore the mass to its equilibrium position. K is the spring constant. The force is not constant, so the acceleration is not constant either. That is because A equals F over m, and F is equal to negative kx. So you can see that as x changes, A also changes. And A is always in the opposite direction of x. The maximum force exerted on the mass is when the spring is most stretched or compressed, either at the positive or negative amplitude. The minimum force exerted on the mass is when the spring is not stretched at all, when x equals 0, when it is at the equilibrium point. If x is equal to 0, then F is equal to 0. When the spring is all the way compressed, the displacement is at the negative amplitude, the force of the spring is in the positive direction, the acceleration is in the positive direction, and the velocity is 0. When the spring is at equilibrium and heading in the positive direction, the displacement is 0, the force of the spring is 0, the acceleration is 0, and the velocity is positive and at a maximum. When the spring is all the way stretched, the displacement is at the positive amplitude, the force of the spring is in the negative direction, the acceleration is in the negative direction, and the velocity is 0. When the spring is at equilibrium and heading in the negative direction, the displacement is 0, the force of the spring is 0, the acceleration is 0, and the velocity is negative and at a maximum. Gravity does not affect the mass spring system. If the spring is hung vertically, the only change is in the equilibrium position, which is at the point where the spring force equals the gravitational force. The effect of gravity is canceled out by changing to this new equilibrium position.